Hello, my name is METİN Arıdaşır. This is 172nd part of explanation of my theory. According to my theory and my formulas, masses with no gravitational attraction between them. When you unplug the universe, the gravity is completely eliminated. If you eliminate all of three electron motion forms in our universes completely and instantly, all atoms and atom groups, objects will be in the absolute dark, absolute cold, and absolute non-gravity. But they will still have masses without attraction between them. Moreover, these atoms still contain proton-bound electron motion forms that are going on their initial, in balance, undisturbed, cyclical, spherical, ring-shaped spherical motions, and these atoms still contain their constituent electron-like motion forms that go on their cyclical motions also. I remind you, these electron motion forms have masses in atoms, but with no gravitational force from now on. Before explaining, I will tell some of my theoretical thoughts. 1. As I told you before, there are two types of electron motion forms and there are two types of light. Yes, free electron motion forms produce and propagate successive waves type light intrinsically and spontaneously. But when a free electron motion form connects, when a free electron motion form makes joint motion form with a proton, it cannot do this. From now on, it is a proton-bound electron motion form going on, cycling at its third cycle, ring-shaped cycle. All electron motion forms are ring shapes, okay? Have ring shapes, spherical ring shapes, motion forms. Yeah. Successive waves, ring shapes, intertwined ring shapes, okay, motion forms. 4 free electron motion forms. Yes, proton-bound electron motion forms cannot produce and propagate successive waves, and they cannot produce any kind of light spontaneously. There is only way to produce light. There is only way to produce light for a proton-bound electron motion form, that it must be affected by three electron motion forms, successive waves. A successive wave must make proton-bound electron motion form expand. This is absorption. And when this successive wave vanish, proton-bound electron motion form shrinks again. While shrinking, it push out a single wave pulse type of light emission. And absorption and emission lines source are proton-bound electron motion forms that affected by successive waves of free electron motion forms. Consequently, Consequently, yes, without free electron motion forms, successive waves, effects, consequently, without free electron motion forms, successive waves, effects, proton-bound electron motion forms cannot produce light. They maintain their first cycle in balance at their initial wavelength size, cyclical ring spherical motions in an atom that have masses in absolute cold and in absolute dark. Yes, 2. Free electron motion forms are unique sources of successive waves and successive waves type of light, whether they are at rest or in motion. This is not important. They produce and propagate successive waves through eternity. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Free electron motion forms are sources of all continuous spectrums. All living stars have plenty of free electron motion forms, and the other objects like planets and living species have free electron motion forms also. And most common wavelength size free electron motion form in our universe is 91.155 nanometer wavelength size free electron motion form. Yes, free electron motion forms are unique sources of heat, temperature, color, even gravity and attraction. For instance, when a hot star becomes absolute cold, it must lose all its free electron motion forms. Then it must lose attraction ability. 3. Proton-bound electron motion forms are passive sources of single-wave pulse type light. They need free electron motion forms effective successive waves effects to produce the single-wave pulse light. This kind of light, they cannot produce and pour out single-wave pulse light if there were no free electron motion forms and their successive waves. There wouldn't be any kinds of light. There wouldn't be temperature and heat and life. Even there wouldn't be attractive force and gravity. In this case, in spite of they don't lose their energies in their atoms, they will be in absolute cold atoms. Electron motion forms will be in absolute cold atoms. With no successive waves of free electron motion forms, there will be no light, there will be no heat, temperature, color, and there will be no gravity, there will be no gravitation, because light, heat, and temperature together at the same moment, because light, heat, and temperature, color, and gravity are results of interactions between electron motion forms under the dominant effects of successive waves of free electron motion forms. Yes. From my former works, from my former videos. Yes. Have a good afternoon. See you later.